have made God into a man with a beard who sits up in the sky.
Low.
No. But it's like, I think that is true. We have personified a man. Number one, why does he even have to be a man?
Why not a woman? But then, what about Mother Nature then? Because obviously you have like the whole thing of God being a man, and then we have Mother Nature. So isn't that the balance, the yin and yang?
I never thought of it like that. Instead, what I have watched was, oh my god, this is going to be so crazy if I say this right now.
Doesn't matter.
So I was watching a documentary on people who study these type of things, of how the creation story, Eden on Earth, and they basically said there was an entity who was up in the sky for eons. I watched it in the summer, and they were saying how her name was Sophia.
Okay.
And that is who we're supposed to pray to.
Okay.
But when she went to sleep, quote unquote, her evil side of her came on Earth.
Yeah.
And it's a man.
Ooh.
And that's who we call God, and that's who we're praying to. And apparently he separates us from Sophia.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're praying to the evil side. And I was thinking,
oh girl, do you have a receipt for this? Where can we watch this documentary?
on Gaia.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you have that app.
I like
it's
Gaia.
so good.
I
Yes.
like Gaia.
I spent the whole of the beginning of quarantine watching a lot of videos with my friends.
Yeah.
And it was one of those videos, I think it was about consciousness, and I watched some about the lost cities. Gaia is really good. If you want to talk about spirituality, religion, knowing yourself, it's a good app. I didn't know you knew about Gaia.
Yeah, the thing is with Gaia, I've got it and
Yeah.
I was subscribed, and you know they do like sometimes courses as well.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm like, okay, and then I forget, or like at the time I'm supposed to do the workshop, I'm not able to do it. But I do like
Okay.
Gaia and that stuff as well.
No, it's really good. Gaia is good.
Lost Cities.
I didn't get to watch the Atlantis one, but it made sense. No, like everything I was saying made sense, but it's too good to be true. But who knows?
But then this is the thing, too good to be true is like, I feel like it's a programming.
Yeah.
Who said that things need to be too good to be true? Like, yes, it's real. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So, what was I gonna say? So, spiritual separation, girl, let's drop it on us.
Okay, so as I said, there are photos of God which has been personified as a man with a beard. This is what some people believe, he's sitting in the sky. But some people also say in psychology, what if it's a Freudian complex? That as humans, we need a father, we need a powerful father figure, and we want to relate to him. Someone that we can talk to, someone we can explain things to, someone we can pray for things to happen. But that's like a psychology point of view. But it was like, that's an interesting way, because I never thought of humans longing for a father. Beings who want a spiritual, all-powerful, all-knowing father. But it was like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you have to have both.
Okay.
You have to have the male principle and you have to have the female principle.
Yeah.
Even if you look at something inanimate like metal,
Yeah.
metal has different principles. When metal receives, is female principle. When metal is passive, it's just passive. Like when it's a conductor, it's passive.
Yeah.
And when it gives, it's a male principle.
Yeah.
Everything, even us, like as females, we have a male and we have a female principle.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in a way that, okay, God was personified as a man, but then also at the same time, where it becomes problematic is when we just focus on the one principle.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's why sometimes if you look around, we're in havoc just because you can't just have left brain thinking or right brain thinking.
But I feel like as humans, we put God on a pedestal because like it's something that we can focus all our energy into. It makes it easier for us instead of like breaking it down into so many pieces. Like what society have done is focus all your energy and put all your prayers to one thing, which is outside of us, which can be scary, but it's been easy for people who are religious.
Oops. Okay, sorry, I'm just doing multiple things at the same time here. Like,
Yeah.
If you are not tuning into Instagram Live, you can tune into Instagram Live and see us having the discussion over there. Obviously, if you're driving, drive safely. Don't head over to Instagram Live. So, yeah, essentially, we're talking about spiritual separation. That essentially also means, for me, I don't believe spiritual separation exists because everything is part of the one and one is part of the all. Which means we're made in the substance of God, we're made in the image of God. And most people know this, but I think it's the practicing it, actively practicing it, that challenges people.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's with anything. You know, most of us know to eat more fruit and veg. How many of us do it? I know plenty of people that will go shopping, will buy fruit and veg, and it ends up in the bin. And it's so sad. It's so sad. And you're like, why buy it then? So how can we actively practice spiritual connection or spiritual inclusivity?
How we can practice it. So are we talking about the crystals and those type of things?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way. But how can we first see that we're not a part?
Oh, okay. I feel like the first step is to acknowledge that everything around us is an extension of ourselves. Don't separate yourself from an animal or a plant and say like they are different, we are superior, because altogether we are one. As we were made in the same image of God, they must have been made in the same image of God as well. I believe that instead of thinking that we're unique, we are unique and we are as individuals, but we are also one. I think that's the first step into knowing and into be going into being more spiritual and knowing that there's no separation between us and other things. But I feel like it can also become a bit controversial and a bit hard because religious people don't see that.
Okay.
And in order for them to see that, then we can move forward.
But why are we applying so much? I know, okay, if you look at the mass global, population, religion has a lot of weight, yes. But I don't feel like we should look at religion and be like, oh my gosh, come and help us, because that's what messed us up in the first place. Being able, like, putting us in these boxes. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. So
but it makes it easy for society to regulate when everything is split into different sections, because if we stop that and we stop the sections, it's like
no, but it's not regulate, control. Let's be honest, divide and control.
It's true. No, it is control.
It is control, because if it was about regulation, spirituality is about what you know, like what you know yourself to be, and what you know yourself to be is like, look at children. They know how to behave within the playground without you telling them. Do you understand? They come glued up, they come connected to divine, and then we educate them out of it. Don't do that, don't run, sit up straight, do this, do that, don't chew, don't smile. So they come educated out of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like it makes it, even though it's control, there's like principles and it makes society run, because you have to understand this is why they're doing it. But it does strip us away from our spirituality and our culture and where we come from. Because if we go to like places which are not in control, for example, the Aboriginals, the Inuits, where they live, they're connected to everything around them. But they can't function when they come into our society because it's like everything's separated here and we are not in touch with our spirituality because everything around us is now industrialized. We don't have green areas anymore. But if we go to like places in Australia or places in Brazil, in the Amazon, it's like they are one with their area. And you have to think, why is that?
Because they are untouched, their spirit is still lit.
Because if we told them like there's a separation between ourselves and spirituality, they will look at us funny like, we are spirituality.
What do you mean?
Like they practice it on a daily basis, but we can't practice that because we've got work, we've got kids, we've got to pay bills. It's a distraction.
Yes, you said it. It's a distraction. All that stuff is a distraction.
It's a distraction.
Like, even, I swear to you, as soon as like a full moon hits or about to hit, because I like doing like my cleansing, taking spiritual baths and all of that. So within my circle, I like let everyone know like, yo, full moon is about to happen.
Okay.
watch yourself and like harness this energy
Yeah.
for your thing. Because the thing is, either way, whether you believe it or not, the full moon's energy will heighten everything. So why not utilize that
Yeah.
to your advantage?
Yeah.
Which goes back to what we're saying now, spiritual separation.
Yeah.
You're not separate. You're not even separate from the planets. Do you get what I mean? During like full moon, you're in hospitals, and it's a known fact that there's heightened activity. So more babies being born, more people die. You know, like everything's amplified.
Okay.
So you might as well use that energy. Before the full moon, I always say clear yourself, cleanse yourself from anything that you've been holding on to that's not your energy. Just cleanse yourself. And then during that full moon, just, you know, put out your intentions, what you want to manifest, what you want to see, what you want to feel.
Yeah.
You know, and then you walk into the new cycle, like refreshed.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, you can explain it to people differently. Like for my mum, I'm like, yo, it's a full moon. Make sure, you know, you write down your intentions on a piece of paper and pray on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, essentially that's what it is. So when you were talking about spiritual separation or like spiritual connection, how do you think it all started? You mentioned Sophia. I think it's interesting that she's called Sophia.
Yeah, like in the written in like the walls when they like translated it, the archaeologists, it was Sophia. Like she is the woman. But right now, her evil self is the one who we're praying to, the man. And I was like,
low. You're like,
how do they know this? No, like everybody who's listening, if you want to know more about this Gaia, like, it's the app to download. If you want to watch these type of things about NASA, all of these things, it's so good. I love watching stuff like that. But
I have somebody saying here, I feel like during rituals, it is also easier to find your priorities and understand what's distraction and what do you need to work on. That's a good one. Thank you, at the world of Maya. Yep, that is so true. Because there's many times, let's say you're going for something,
yeah.
and then you don't realize that's actually not what you wanted, or you're going for it for the wrong reasons, or, you know, so it gives you a time to reflect.
Okay.
That's really, really good. Thank you, at the world.
Okay.
And if you guys have any questions, keep dropping them in. So you were saying the light earlier on.
Okay, let me start. So, for people who don't know, this is what ancient teachers have basically said on how the world started. So this is separate to the creation story, separate to what scientists have said. This is basically, okay, let me start. So they basically said before everything was created, such as the universe, there was light. And that light wanted to love, if that makes sense. So they call it love light. And according to studies, it is aware and it is conscious. And it became an entity. So you shouldn't see it as a person or a god, which us humans have turned it into, or a thing, but an entity which has been in space for eons. So eons basically means it's been there for thousands and thousands of years. Like there's not even a number. It's just been there for years. Yeah, eons. And it wanted to experience itself, the god or the entity. It wanted to experience itself as everything. So as a human, as nature, as elements, as animals, as the table right now, or as your house right now. So it wants to experience itself in different forms. And in the different forms is it. So don't see everything around you as something separate to yourself. See it as a part of you, an extension of yourself, because everything around you has a certain level of vibration and a certain level of frequency like yourself. So everything was also given free will. So we have free will to do whatever we want, which the experience comes with. Every experience comes with free will. Do what you want. And that's basically the experience it wanted to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does make sense. Essentially, so everything is the light.
Everything is the light, and it wanted to experience itself as everything. So as different planets, as different aliens, as different types of humans, as different continents, as it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it does. It definitely does make sense.
And also, it wanted to experience itself as also not extraterrestrial, but things on the other side, so as spirits, as a ghost, as your spirit guide. So it's not just living things, but also dead things it wants to experience itself as, because everything is you.
So even why am I struggling with this word today? Inanimate objects. So yeah, so it wants to experience, like you mentioned planets. So let's talk about planets a little bit.
Okay.
Because like we were talking about the moon earlier on, and obviously we had a full moon and the moon was lovely and everyone harnessed its energy, and I'm really happy, you know, everyone's manifesting what they want to manifest. But even if you look at the planets and you look at the days, they're actually aligned.
Okay.
Like Monday, Moon Day.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday. Wait, what's Tuesday again? Mardi. It's not Mercury. Yeah, I think it's Mercury. So obviously, no, Monday is Moon Day, Tuesday is Mars Day.
Okay.
And then Wednesday, Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Sun. And then, no, Saturday is Saturn, sorry.
Okay.
That's the one I always get confused. And Sunday is Sun.
Okay.
And all of them even have like deeper meaning to it. So like obviously Monday is the moon, you reflect, you take time to reflect, you put the intentions, like I was saying about the full moon, you put the intentions for the week out.
Okay.
So this is where even like you have your personal reflections, you have your reflections for work and all of that. So I think it's even, it's funny that like if you look at commercial or you look at like the population, general population, most people don't like Mondays.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the incorrect energy to apply to Monday. do you know what I mean? Like Monday is supposed to be your day, you reflect,
Sometimes Mondays are good to me. Like sometimes Monday feels refreshing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a start of a new week, because a lot of people use Monday as a blank page. Like that week, it starts from Monday. Everything I want to do in that week needs to be good. Monday is the starting point.
Yeah.
So if you take that, it can be a good Monday for you.
But then even with Monday, do you think Monday is the first day of the week or is Sunday? Because you know there's like two different calendars. There's like one that starts on Monday, one that starts on Sunday.
I don't know.
Like, do you... Because I swear one is like the Mayan calendar and the other one is just the Gregorian calendar. And Gregorian calendar is like Monday. And Mayan calendar is like Sunday, Monday.
I don't know, like I just see Sunday as part of the week before. I wouldn't want to carry that with me to the new week.
Really? Because even like, I don't know how it is with you, but most friends I speak to, on Sunday they get prepared for the next day.
Yeah, I do that too.
Do you know what I mean?
Sunday's like my preparing day, Saturday is my resting day.
Yeah. Actually, you'd be surprised because Saturday is a taskmaster. We're supposed to get to work on Saturday. We're supposed to, be productive because Saturn holds that energy. Like, let me see in my notes here.
But then, you know how you said that's the days of the week? Is that in our solar system? Because the whole universe is big.
Yes, our solar system.
So we're just talking about the Milky Way.
Yeah, we're talking about, we're not talking about any other way, Milky Way.
Okay.
We're not the almond way or coconut way. Like, I don't know what other ways are out here. But yeah, so I would say Monday, what's interesting, you can enhance those energies. So it doesn't mean that like only on Monday you should reflect.
Okay. You
can utilize the energy of that moon for that day. And then obviously every single day has a color. Monday has blue. So if you wear blue on Monday, it's all about, healing your glands, your kidney and all of that. And then even there's like specific oils for the day.
Oh.
And incense, like jasmine is a Monday oil or herb, and incense. And then there's metals, and then the metal for Monday is silver.
Okay.
And silver has a lot to do with like restoring electrical current, also like the spleen, thyroid, and the brain. And the thing I mentioned earlier about, metals having different pixels, male, female, and passive. So metals actually used to be used as a healing tool. So like 4000 BC, malachite used to be used as a copper paint in ancient Kemet, so in ancient Egypt. And this was used by men and women. There was no differentiation. But obviously now, we don't use metals anymore like that. Whereas before they used to use it for spiritual protection, to protect the house, to purify it, and also to balance the emotional and intellectual mind and the energy. Yeah. So it just goes to show there's so much magic around us. And I like to call it magic, and somebody else might be like, it's like vibration. It's like it's energy. But I still feel like it's got like a magical element.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah,
like you will find something will emit from it, and you will feel it.
Yeah, definitely, and it's like just to know that you wearing copper, for example, is helping you cleanse your blood. That's amazing. Or me, like for example, wearing tourmaline as a gemstone is helping me, or is protecting me against, negative energies.
Yeah.
Mate, it's magic. Call it what it is. So what do you think about like colours and their meanings? Because like, for example, you wearing right now can have a certain meaning, like obviously colours are supposed to, because like you're saying, everything has a vibration, so it would make sense that colours will influence you, right?
Yeah. And
even if you look at like big corporations and stuff, that's why they're very specific with certain colours. Like McDonald's in the Golden Arch is yellow because it makes you want to eat, apparently. Like yellow is the solar plex, which is obviously where your stomach is. And it makes you wanna, it secretes that. Whereas Coca-Cola is red, and red is about your root energy, and it's like basic instincts and all of that. So every colour has a different influence.
No, sure.
Yeah. So going back to spiritual separation. But this is everything, I feel like this is spiritual separation.
No, it is like it is hard to feel in tune to like what type of spirits do you want to attract, what type of energy do you want to attract.
So do you have some tweets for us to read out? Yeah, some tweets that we can discuss.
So
playing in the background is Indiari. She's such a vibe.
Okay, so one tweet which I found by Karen Steele is, you are the owner of all that you perceive, but you can't perceive apart from your vibration, the thoughts and what you think. This is why we are all the center of our own universe, and we are genius creators. Conscious creators have learned to think in alignment with their source.
Ooh. Wait, say the last bit again. I don't think people got it.
Conscious creators have learned to think in alignment with their source.
Exactly, and you are the source.
You are the source.
Which means you create. This is what we're saying. I've been saying this for years, guys, that you create your reality. So if you're annoyed and pissed off and whatever, you're choosing to be. I understand sometimes things will put you out of balance, but you have to be able to check yourself. And what I've noticed, like a lot of people feel uncomfortable when people check them. But I like being checked, because that means there's room for growth, there's room for improvement. But if somebody's trying to check you, like, yo, the way you acted or the way you did this is not too great, you can do this better, it's fine. Like, even me and my circle, we check ourselves all the time. Like, if I'm kind of out of whack and then I realize, okay, maybe I'm out of alignment, or like the other way around. Do you get what I mean? You need to be able to check yourself. You need to be able to have people around you that can check you. If people can't check you, that means you're living from your ego. And living from your ego is the most detrimental thing you can ever do. Because from the outside, it looks like you've got everything, you're doing well, but the foundation is hollow.
Yeah. There's also research which they've said room colours can affect your mood. It says a red bedroom can feel festive but will rob you of your sleep. Psychiatrist Dr. Julia Sugar says room colours, particularly in your home, can dramatically affect moods, feelings and emotions. Colours like green are relaxing, and colours that aren't very bright, like rich sapphire blue, are energizing to look at. And red easily stimulates one's energy and promotes liveliness.
Okay, I can get it because that red room, I'm not gonna lie, would irritate me. If like I remember my bedroom at my mum's, it was blue. It was blue, light blue, and I felt so creative in that space. Like so creative, like to the point where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go home and just create something new. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And even now when I go back home and I visit her, and I'm like, this room, like. And it's the colour. It's literally the colour. Because sometimes, that's why I don't like magnolia. I'm like, what kind of colour is that? Like, and then, like, that's the standards that everything comes in, magnolia. I'm like, you guys, man, make a bit of more of an effort. At least make it like baby blue or something, you know. So, yeah. So what's your favourite colours? Speaking about colours.
Red and pink. I like all colours, actually. But nowadays... red has always been my colour, but I like all colours. But I've been drawn to pink lately. I don't know why.
Ooh, it's the heart chakra. It's about opening up the heart chakra, compassion.
Okay. I like pink.
Yeah.
It's a cool colour.
That's nice. That's really nice.
But I've got a question. And they were basically saying is, regarding spirituality and religion, do we not need to fear the wrath of a god?
No, because you're creating your reality. So that means, obviously, the condition that you've got playing in your head is what will happen. So if you feel like, oh, I'm going to do this and thunder's going to strike you, my friend, thunder will strike you. Do you know what I mean?
Because you're putting that energy out there.
Yeah, essentially what you create or what you perceive in your mind, you create. So there's no thing of a wrath of a god or, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going to do every single thing pitch perfect in this life and then I'll receive all my goods in heaven, in the afterlife. I always tell people, what if this was it? Like this was it and then there is no afterlife. There's no... And then sometimes you can see the disappointment in somebody's eyes and
because it's sensitive. It's a sensitive topic. This is why people go to religion, because they need the hope of there being an afterlife, that there is life after death.
But why? When the part of living or part of life is feeling alive, is like being alive, it's having these emotions. So how can you wait until you croak and then be like, yeah?
No, it's not waiting, but it's like, yes, I will live a living life, but that can't be the end of me. That is what scares people. It's like when they die, they want to be life after death.
Okay, which I understand now, yeah? And then now they're thinking, okay, religion, life.
That's why people go to religion.
But I think it's conditioning, like in all honesty. Because even if you look at our ancient, like African culture, we had a system, like a spiritual, holistic system, but it wasn't like until you die. You know, it was like now. And then you know your ancestors come and help you and support you in this life, and you know that you are going to
it's for black people. I feel like when I talk about this type of topic with other people, I just feel like this conditions black people a lot, because black people are one of the only cultures which are very in tune in religion to the point that is really scary. And a lot of black people, even though they've been through a lot of trauma, but they believe that we will get our rewards when we die. And then I always ask them, why can't you get the same rewards that you want here? The same way our white people are living. They're getting their rewards here now, whether it's money, whether it's, well, mainly money, it's mainly materialistic things. Why do you want to wait until you die to get your rewards? Because that's basically what the Bible portrays, is live a good life and you get your rewards when you die. Why do I have to die to get my rewards?
Yeah, I remember I came across this quote, was it yesterday? And it was like, this slave what were they? Slave owner, yeah. He had 3 plantations. And he wrote a manual how to convert a negro to Christianity. Because he was having issues controlling his slaves. And he perfected it so well, it became the standard of converting people to Christianity. Which just goes to show, my friends.
Yeah. This is why black people should leave a Christian church.
Just listen to your spiritual inner guidance, inner self. I know it's scary. It's definitely scary, because if you've been told every single day, you must do this, you must do this.
Yeah.
And now you switch, it's like, oh my days.
Yeah, because I was watching a video throughout the week. It's basically this black church which they've been founded in America. And they talk, I'll send you the video later. They talk about how black people got into the Christian church. First, it was the way to control the slaves. But they used to make them sit at the white people in their church. Let's create our own church.
Yeah.
But they took what the white people were teaching in their church into the black church. And this is why black people still have the visions of the white Jesus and everything that they send in the Bible, because that's all they knew at the time.
Yeah.
So when they created their own church, one of the black people, their own black people, went to go and snitch to the white people and said, these Negroes have their own church. And they thought, when you separate them from control, that's when they start having their own mind.
Yeah.
That's when they start waking up. So they brought the black people back to the church and said, you know what? You guys are allowed in the church. We'll put you at the front if you want. And that's how we're going to start controlling you again. It's in history books, so.
Bruh. And so the word of Maya says, I think because even religion is rooted in racism.
Yeah.
And it is. Like, let's be honest. And then if you think about it, your religion will be determined where you're born. If you're born in, like, Europe, you'll be Christian. If you're born in India, you'll be Hindu. If you're born in Thailand, you'll be Buddhist. So it's a geographical control. It's not actually like, it's not spiritual and it's not a choice. It's like, you're limited.
And there's also a way to control generations for years and years and years, because it's like, wow, like even through slavery till this day, black people are still Christians. And it's like, wow.
It is crazy, because you can speak, especially when you speak to the older generation, you're like, there's a loophole here in the Bible, there's a loophole here in the Bible. They will not hear it. They will defend the call. And I understand, because if you have lived 50 years of your life and you've known it this way, it's hard to see another way.
I feel like the only bad thing is that they incorporated what they do in black church, most black churches, not all black churches, but the way the white people used to preach. That's the only bad thing, because really and truly we're saying the same things in Christian churches, in Catholic churches. We don't have our own religion in Christianity. We've just got what they taught us back in slave days.
But it also depends. Like, I feel like there's certain reverends. Shout out Reverend Ike. He teaches about abundance, health, wealth, and prosperity. Yeah. And he will even say, like, the Bible is a psychological book. It's a book of the mind. Because they pray
to the devil. The white people pray to the devil.
Okay. Explain. Like,
that'll be another video.
Okay, that's another topic then. Yeah. But yeah, and then he uses that to your advantage. He's like, yeah, I don't want to see he's like, yeah, I want to roll up in a Rolls Royce. Why shouldn't I? I'm here to live. I'm here to be abundant. Exactly. I want my congregation to be abundant. I want my congregation to live and be happy. So him, he's got this book. Yeah, it's called Abundance, Health, Prosperity. Health, Wealth, and Prosperity. And it is so good. Like, he takes, like, literal quotes from the Bible, breaks them down, gives examples, and then shows you how you use the scriptures to your advantage, because there's no point.
I get that, but the reason why that didn't work, because in sociology, what I learned was, I think it was Calvinism. I think it's Calvinism, but the reason why they didn't want to spend, the religious people didn't spend back in the day, is because spending things on designer clothes, alcohol, going out, clubbing, all of that, they put the money that they had into their business. That's why we see industrial companies today, because the families that started these things, they weren't spending on big cars, they weren't spending on new vehicles back in the day. And then that's what started postmodernism. That's what started industrialization, because they didn't go out and spend their money. And that's why there's not a separation, but in religion, that's why religion started to become more secular. Because when they started to see the riches, because they weren't spending their money, they forgot about God. They forgot about their spirituality.
Yeah, but spirituality doesn't mean like religion. That's two different topics.
No, but it was like, I know it's different, but it was like, when you start spending on yourself and not investing in yourself, you start to separate yourself and start living for materialistic things.
Ah, get it.
That was basically how the world we live in now, this society that we're in, started off.
Okay. But what I'm saying with, like, Reverend Ike, he doesn't say go out and spend.
Oh, okay.
he talks about this whole, exactly what you said,
Yeah.
investing in yourself, seeing
investing.
yourself in this new career, seeing yourself having the nice things, and God will make that way. But he's saying also God is you, so realize that it's God in you.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously you can't just sit there and be like, oh my days, God, please make it fall into my lap. No, you see yourself, you visualize it, and then you become it. But that's what I'm saying. If you're saying there's two different churches, and white churches were teaching differently from black churches.
Yeah.
I'm sure the way he was teaching is how white churches were teaching.
Yeah.
Because when you look at his videos, because like he's passed away now in 2019.
Oh, okay.
His videos are still on YouTube. Reverend Ike, anyone that wants to like research on it. And if you look at the congregation, a lot of them sometimes were just white people when he did workshops, like just white people.
Okay.
And then sometimes it was just black people. But he really taught about abundance. He taught about abundance. He taught about using the Bible for abundance. He taught about you being your best version and realizing that God is within you, and the God in you will bring about what you want, but you must decide first. God can't give you anything if you don't know what you want.
It's
like,
true.
Like I'm saying, most people say they want to be rich. Great. What's the number? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Stay there. Like, you're gonna stay there with the I don't know.
Yeah.
Because God is not gonna know for you. You need to ask and you receive.
Yeah.
Ask and it shall be given unto you, or knock it shall be opened unto you. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
So he's like reprogramming your mind and showing you how you use the Bible for good. And he was saying even like, you know how before you go to church and you're on your knees and you're praying, oh God, if you deem me as worthy, he's like, that's a prayer for pitifulness, because somebody can easily come and kick you in the head. Like, even in that position, do you know what I mean? Because he was saying psychologically, it plays a role, it plays a part.
Yeah.
You know? And essentially, we need more pastors and reverends like that.
No, it's true.
Like
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. 100%.
So, yeah. So, what other tweet do we have?
Okay, so...
I'm actually loving this album.
With 0 degrees of separation between you and the universe, your prayers can be answered instantly. Engage with intercosmetic space the best way you can and receive a spiritual awakening today.
Ooh, today's your day. What else?
Okay, let's see another one. Okay, so this is by Mystic Colors. Real freedom, which religion brings, is spiritual freedom. It means freedom for the mind from self, to attain a celestial body and no existence in heaven. It is freedom from human mind. Freedom in society seeks liberation from barriers created by humans.
So yeah, I like that. Barriers are created by humans.
Yeah.
It's like the Lord doesn't have barriers.
Religious freedom seeks liberation from nature, from being put into this human existence, trapped in pleasure and pain, heaven and hell endlessly. That's very true.
Trapped in heaven and hell endlessly.
Like, we have a human experience. Like, this is what I was researching with the love line.
Yeah.
Because we're humans, we are having the human experience
right
now. Because that's all we can have as humans.
Mm.
So I was like,
and then when we
sense.
return to the light.
Yeah, and then that will experience itself in another form of way.
Yeah.
So we can have the nature experience, the animal experience. I was thinking, okay.
Sounds like a bit of Buddhism, isn't it? That you can return and you can be the tree. And then you come back.
Exactly.
You know. Actually, I want to touch on this. So, obviously, Wednesday is the day of the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And Wednesday is like Mercury, right? And another word or name for Mercury is Hermes. And Hermes was
the messenger god?
Yes, there you go. Not Hermes the bag, even though we appreciate the Hermes bags. But like, yeah, the messenger god. And it's also known as Thoth. And then Thoth was basically the god or the in-between between the mortals and the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at ancient Kemet again, we had the Juti, which is basically Thoth. And he was like shown as the ibis bird. You know, the one with the long beak.
No.
That kind of, you know, like when you look at Egyptian things, there's always that one with the long bird, like the long beak.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the Juti. And then it's thought that he created himself through language, which goes back to John 1. In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Okay.
So If in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and then the Word was God,
Wow.
goes to show that one and one is one, and is the one.
I get it.
Like, and which goes back to what you were saying about the light, that, you know, in the beginning was the light, and the light wanted to express itself, and it became the light, and now the light expanded, or the light, you know. I definitely believe here as human beings, we're here to expand and grow. We're not here to shrink in existence.
Exactly.
We're here to expand. You're now here, you can jump now. No, okay, you can crawl. You can crawl, you can walk, you can walk, you can jump, you can fly. You know what I mean? It's like that. I'm sure like in 2000 and, okay, in 3000 we'll be flying. Or we'll be teleporting, like blink, I'm there.
I feel like it depends what type of society we're in, because some people believe that we don't use our brain to the full capacity. And I ask them why. Why do you think that? Because I feel like I'm using 100% of my brain. And they'd be like, Reese, look around you. There's no need to have telekinesis, because we can get someone to do that for us. Or we can pick up the phone, we've got the internet. There's no need to fly because we've got Uber, we've got transport. We can dial it at our need, because society limits us on what we can do. So if we do end up having flying cars, or we do end up trying to use our brain to the 100% capacity.
Girl, I never said flying cars. I said teleport. I don't.
You want to
teleport?
Teleport. I'm scared.
Why would you be scared? Imagine you call me up. Yo, in fact, you're not even calling me up.
No,
you're guiding me in my mind, like, yo, idol, and I'm like, yep, I'm here.
No, but with that, it's dangerous. I know Tesla is doing experiences on that, because they fund things like that. But I feel like with the secret society, they've been saying that people have been coming back with no limbs.
Oh, wow. But when I say teleport, I mean from your own energy essence. I'm not saying from a device that's helping you teleport.
Oh, okay.
From your own spiritual
I don't know
essence.
how they're doing it. Wow.
Nee, have you seen Aang? Like Aang. What's his name? The Avatar.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon Aang. Like, he was doing some that even by the way, that program is a plug.
Really?
That program it's got some spiritual quotes in there. It's got some, my friend, if you want your child to spiritually awake, that's the program. Even to this day, I still rewatch it. Like, Nickelodeon is the one. Like, Aang was showing us, like, there was one episode about opening up all your chakras, where he had to even let Kitara.
No, but he's like a Buddhist though. That's what they do.
Yeah, but once you look up past that, you know that because he's just a kid, essentially. Do you know what I mean? He's a kid that's learning how to realign himself, his energy centers, and become more than he is, and utilize all of his powers. So essentially, us, if we unlock ourselves and go through our chakras and our energy centers, we can become more than we are.
Yeah.
But obviously, read past the, you know, like you were saying, he's a Buddhist though. Because I didn't look at it like that. When I watch things, I don't look at it like, oh yeah, he's a Buddhist, so it applies to him.
No, because like the airbenders are Buddhists.
Wait, do you believe that? Do airbenders actually exist? Like, for real? Because you're like...
No, like, I mean...
I was
in the movie, they're Buddhists, because all of them didn't have hair, like monks.
Yeah.
And then like the waterbenders were like Chinese looking.
Kitara was like, no, not Chinese looking.
Yeah, they were weird. Like, I think they'll be placed like Indonesia.
Okay. Ice in Indonesia. Okay.
The firebenders were Indian.
No, they weren't Indian.
In the movie.
Oh, in the movie. Oh, I've never watched the movie. I watched the cartoon only. So who was black in the movie?
No one.
Me.
We didn't have any power.
They need to recast that. Like,
no one was black. Yeah, no one was black.
So what about the Earthbenders?
They were the Chinese ones.
Okay, so who was the Fire Nation?
Indians.
And the Wu were Chinese. The Wu were Indonesian, you said?
Yeah, they were like a mixture of Indian and Chinese.
Oh, okay, listen. The World of Maya says Aang is Tibetan. The movie is a mess. Like, the movie is a mess. Like, they whitewashed the whole... Yeah, they whitewashed the whole...
Yeah, they did. So, like, there was not one black person. It's like, we don't hold any elements.
Me, okay, cool. Alright then. So, we're coming to an end to this discussion. So what would you like to leave our listeners with today?
I feel like life exists in everything. Energy is everything. us as people are experiencing a human illusion, and you will feel unending love. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Like, you are everything. Like, look at yourself with nature, look at yourself with other humans. They're just extension of yourself. Like, that could have been you.
Yeah. That, which goes to say compassion. Have compassion with everyone.
Like, that could have been you. Maybe in your next life, that is you.
Girl, and you know, since it's also Friday today, I might as well tell you a little bit about Friday, what Friday means is. Friday is ruled by Frigga, the High Queen God, or like Freya, goddess of love.
Okay.
Which is also associated with Aphrodite. But in Kemet, it was Hathor, the goddess of love, the sky, the woman, fertility.
Yeah.
She's known as the one with great many names. So with her, she's also known as the mother of mothers, the mistress of heaven, lady of the stars, celestial nurse, mistress of life, and so on and so on. And then she obviously governs like love, joy, romance, perfume, dance, and music. Okay. So today is a day of appreciating the people around you, appreciating those that bring joy to you, appreciating your family, appreciating your friends, your circle, your loved ones, your partners. Just show love and recognize the beauty within everyone. Okay. And the metal today is copper, which we spoke about, like cleanses the blood, liver, eye, emotions. Today's fragrance is sandalwood and rose. I love sandalwood. Actually, I live for sandalwood.
Really?
Sandalwood cleanses. It cleanses, like spiritual protection and cleanses. And then the color today is green. Green is about the heart. It's the heart chakra, which is, it's so funny because the heart is placed here, but the heart chakra is actually here, which is like, yeah. So obviously today, guys, it's all about love. Go and spread some love. And, be your best version. And remember, whatever you're going through is part of your process. And it's okay.
Yeah.
You are going to make it. For real. For real, for real. The universe got your back. You're always good to go. So thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Like, somebody says green is the color of money too. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl.
Only in America.
She's like, only in America. No, but even here, haven't we got green notes?
Green. The 5 is like turquoise.
Get like